even though that really sucked, we got through it together, and it's kind of cool. Now it's a funny story.
After years of doing it, there's kind of like, you're just kind of used to the fact that, okay, shit's gonna happen.
About what to do about roadies, or about groupies, or just kind of loose women?
Well, if you're single, bang them.
I say walk the other way. Just walk the other way.
Don't stray away too far, because then you might get left behind. It's happened to me. I had to fly from San Francisco to LA once, and that wasn't any fun.
Pace yourself as far as like partying and drinking and stuff, because it really, like a really horrible hungover day that you have to play a show is like the worst thing ever. It can be, you just kind of hate yourself even worse.
Don't ever try to move a wounded deer from underneath your van in the middle of an Indiana highway.
Don't be too frivolous with money, at least on my end, because I don't have much, so I have to be pretty careful about that on tour.
I'll never gamble on a fart again.
Oh, I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that. I did that. I made that mistake a few times.
Take any food, water, whatever they give you at the end of the night. Keep that. That's yours. Like they bought it for you. Like a thing of peanut butter. Keep all that peanut butter. I get every single thing of soap and shampoo from every motel I've ever stayed in. Get home with me.
What you can do is get a bun from a gas station and put 2 hot dog links in there and cover it up with so much cheese and chili that they think it's only 1.
Always bring towels with you. Go ahead and take a couple towels from the motel you're staying at, because clubs never have towels. And you probably, if you're like me, you sweat on stage a whole lot. And I think almost everybody sweats on stage. And it's always good to have a towel. Another good thing is to have post-show clothes nearby you can change into, so you don't have to walk around in your sweaty clothes all night.
Keep clean. Take showers, because you don't want to get foot rot or anything worse than that. Drink lots of water. And stretch.
Carbondale, Illinois. I'm not sure if you're familiar with it, in southern Illinois. And we played a place called the Crooked Cross. Now, the Crooked Cross was named that because the house actually leaned. It was crooked. The whole foundation was completely off kilter. And when you went inside, you could see it was kind of like a fun house. We played a lot of basement shows, a lot of house shows, but this one in particular I remember because they'd warned us that it rained hard the past couple of days and the basement tends to flood. Well, apparently it rained so often and the basement floods so often that the stairs leading down to the basement had formed a nice slick layer of algae on each step, which made load-in a breeze when you're carrying all that stuff down, and it's only about 4 feet tall. And so we set up, and there's about an inch or 2 of standing water that we're wading through, literally about an inch and a half. We get chairs so we don't get electrocuted to put our stuff on. And we play this show. I really don't even remember the show because I remember thinking, like, how are we not going to die while we wrap up our stuff? So we get done, and there's sort of this weird collection of characters that I don't know if it's like Charles Dickens, like orphans, sort of crossed with I don't know, someone you'd meet out of a Fellini movie, and then there was like some dude that had like 3 teeth maybe, and he's drinking out of a jug that he keeps offering you, but you just keep trying to find new ways to politely refuse. And then this kid shows up with a gash, I would say about 6-7 inches, no joke, about across his head like this, dripping blood, congratulating us on a great show, and a show well played. And there is, I don't know, what I can only describe as urine yellow across all the couches. I'm really not doing it justice by describing this. Also, there was a hole in the upper level where the bathroom was that I could look down and as I was pissing. And the door would just swing open of its own accord because, again, the house was leaning. So they offered us the place to stay for the night while everybody is partying and there's blood, spit, and whatever else is on the floor. And we you know, politely decline the offer, and we drive on to whatever cheapest hotel we could find. That was actually, that was, considering that nothing really happened, it was pretty uneventful. It was one of the more tame nights, I would say. from stuff that's gone on with us. In the early years, there's a lot of fights in gambler shows. I don't know why.
Eric has developed a lot of nicknames. It started with Spaghetti.
Spaghetti and meatballs, of course.
There's Spaghetti.
His house would be called the
Spaghetti Warehouse.
And if something really goes wrong, Spoga!
Spaghetti about it.
And then it's just a matter of like saying it in the most obnoxious kind of retarded way possible. Spooky.
What do we have here? What's that right there? I think they don't even sell that at that gas station.
Ian, is it Brokeback Gold Practice?
Yes. Who's that?
It's his other band. They're playing at Chain Reaction this weekend.
I think it's good to have side bands, and I have a couple side projects. But I think that there is, I don't know, like I think that there might be when you're in a band and people have side projects, it's kind of like being in an open relationship a little bit, where like you're like, yeah, everyone that's in an open relationship is like, oh yeah, it's totally cool. But then you hear that like that person slept with somebody like maybe better looking than you. Why didn't we just have a big three-way? That's not cool. Why didn't we have a four-way? Okay, yeah, this time we were in France. It was actually Belgium. It was French-speaking Belgium, and
it goes something like this. We were in Europe in the spring of '04, and early spring, like February, cold, like still like frigid.
So they had to stay in this room that had about 9 bunk beds.
The bathroom was just a hole in the ground. It looked like somebody dug with a chisel and a spoon. And there was like, I don't know if people were really drunk, but it looked like a lot of people had missed. You know what I'm saying? Just kind of imagine it.
We're nice and secure in our beds, and all of a sudden I'm trying to go to sleep, and I hear this rustling at the door, and these two figures make it into the room. They started making noises. It sounded like a broken Slurpee machine or something. Something like. I look up, and like within a little over arm's length is this like hairy French ass, like bobbing, completely buck naked, bobbing up and down. No. No, and it's like the worst part of a porn movie. Like that's the thing you always fast forward through. No! And I went and I got up and I woke our tour manager up. I was like, man, can you tell I can't speak French, you can speak French? And they start like putting on their clothes, and I'm getting back in bed, and she's like, no, it is okay, I speak English a little bit, and he does not, but and she's like, I am fine, it is okay, I understand. I am okay with this. But he is not. The guy gets up and he's wearing like tighty-whitey Speedos, and that's it. You fucking Texas, you fucking redneck, you are a fucking asshole. You are a fucking asshole. You know what? I like your band. Your band is good, but you are a fucking asshole. Then he walks over to me, and I'm like, okay, he's gonna hit me, but I knew I had that like the bunk bed on top, and I knew it'd be like a weird angle for him to swing at me, and I knew like I had a perfect like shot at his crotch if he did try and take a swing at me. And you know, I was like, I'm gonna let him yell at me a little bit, because I understand there's gotta be a level of frustration that he's feeling. So he's screaming about Texas and what assholes we are, and it's, you know, it's like a French dude. And I just jumped up and I said, you know what? If it wasn't for me and Texas, you'd be speaking German right now. And then it just went crazy. And so now like our voices are getting louder, and we're screaming at each other. We're both standing in our underwear, and the rest of the band is kind of slowly waking up. The tour manager comes and like breaks us apart and goes in, and I'm like, man, I know this guy's gonna come back. I know he's gonna come back. And then a little bit later, we hear this. There's like the room, and then there's this little kind of kitchen, and I heard him break into the kitchen, and And I get up and I'm like, I'm ready now. This is strike number 2. Guy's just like so wasted that yeah, apparently at some point he started crying, just started bawling,
and he shows up and he's crying, and he asks one of the guys on tour with us for a sip of his beer, and the guy goes, "Here, yeah, just take it, but just stop, just please don't cry anymore." And he takes it and he drinks it and he goes, "I won't." And he starts drinking, it's dripping out his face. Like, that's it. We got to go now. If we have to drive through the hole in the wall and the gate, that's fine. But just open the doors and we'll roll out of here. Paris, thanks Paris. But we're gonna be back in Paris. We're gonna sell that place out next time. Watch.